Is he tap dancing? What's Peacocky doing? He's doing a little shuffle there.
This is a big one.
Yeah,
Yep, go off, Peacocky.
The Harlem Shuffle, you've heard it. It's the Stanford
robot.
Shuffle. The Stanford Shuffle.
There you go. He's doing the robot. Look
Yeah,
at
oh, nice.
Oh, hey.
Is there anything Peacocky can't do? You and I are going to go to a park. And we're gonna have people tip you. All right.
Great.
Yeah. And then we're going to go get drunk. Me and Peacocky.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour, and more importantly, welcome to the 4th annual Peacockies. That's right.
Yeah.
We're dressed for it. We're ready to hand out some awards, our fantasy awards, some surprises along the way, and apparently a guest at the end of the show that I don't know who it is. I don't know if you know.
I don't know who it is. None of us know who it is.
What are the betting odds on who the guest is?
Well, I thought it was going to be Joe Flacco. I made him the favorite, but I'm not sure that we've flown Joe Flacco in.
Seems out of our budget.
That would be quite a shock if Joe Flacco comes in.
I was thinking more
door.
like big show or medium show.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
But I will say this, by the way, just in terms of the opening that we just saw. I did in fact get drunk with Peacocky after the show last year. Here's the footage of us. Yeah, we were hanging out. We got married. We just kind of we danced. We're both hammered in this video right here. We're just like.
What is this?
I don't want to tell you what happened after this video.
Yeah, don't tell us.
But it was one beautiful night in Stanford, is all I'm going to say.
Took the
in
pickup
Stanford,
line
Connecticut.
from Peacocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Atrocious.
Exactly. Anyway, but Peacocky is back with us.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. It is, for my money, and I don't think there's any pushback on this, it is the most prestigious and the most famous fake football award show starring a large bird in the land.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, can't beat.
Yeah. Should we explain what we're wearing?
Yeah.
I don't really know how we came up with the idea, but
So, I don't know what's going on with Lawrence's hat.
Yeah. Lawrence always.
I thought this was a day party.
Yeah.
kind of.
It
kind of is.
Thought we was gonna have cabanas and all that
The
stuff.
rest of us.
Imagine it.
Yeah.
The thing is you can't say the hat is very wrinkled. It's a very wrinkled hat. Which,
Can you tell on
What's
here?
in his
I
pocket?
think my 3-year-old daughter Rio has that hat. I don't know where hers is.
She
actually. I
might.
haven't seen it lately. You might have stolen it from
She might have stolen it from her.
It's very wrinkled.
But the rest of us are just, we said, let's do jerseys and blazers.
Yeah, so I'm obviously wearing the legendary jersey of Minnesota Vikings legend Cam Akers, 435 career rushing yards for said Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, nice.
4 touchdowns total from scrimmage. So yeah, I just wanted to pay pay homage to a Vikings great.
I went with Revis Island, a man that killed many fantasy hopes and dreams. Yes.
For sure.
Oh, so you chose a good player.
Yeah,
Yes.
We decided to go obscure. I'm going with Terrell Pryor.
Wow.
Who had 1 year that he's a wide receiver for the Browns, but also played a lot of quarterback and was a fantasy superstar, was a big waiver wire pickup. He had 1 year of fantasy relevancy, one hit wonder. So we honor the memory of Terrell Pryor, number 11. Number 11 for the Browns, but number 1 in your heart.
Over 1,000 yards receiving that
Yes, sir.
year.
Yes, sir.
And,
over 1,000 yards receiving and got you points at quarterback because he played at least 5 or 6 snaps at quarterback each
OG
game.
Taysom Hill?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
With more consistent playing time. He had 1 year, and then he was overdrafted the next year.
Yeah, I'm just.
Significantly didn't do anything.
I'm former Falcons GM Terry Fontenot.
Terry.
That's me.
He's got time at a day party as well.
Yeah.
He's at a day party.
He's at a day party. That's your resume in front of you.
Yeah, I'm looking. Browns, come on. Hey, hook me up with that.
Let me look at that. 1,000%.
Let's waste no time. The first category is the fantasy game of the year, and the nominees are Jahmyr Gibbs, Week 12 against the G-Men, where he went nuclear for over 55 fantasy points. Jonathan Taylor, Week 10 against the Falcons, where he almost had 50 points. Puka Nacua.
Against Lawrence's Falcons.
That's right. Puka Nacua in Week 16 against the Seahawks, where he had 12 catches for 225 yards and found the end zone twice.
In the fantasy playoffs.
Derrick Henry, right on time in Week 17 against Green Bay, over 45 fantasy points and over 200 rushing yards, fell in the end zone 4 times. Kyle Pitts is a Kyle Pitts, the most unlikely nominee.
Came alive.
Bird up.
Week 15 against the Bucks, over 45 fantasy points. Some honorable mentions.
I wonder if you think Peacocky is a fan of the Falcons, birds of a feather, all that?
You could argue Seahawks. You could argue
How about
Ravens?
say Peacocky be in the playoffs? every year. So
it's fair.
Or Seahawks colors? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do Falcons eat other birds? They're quite large. So maybe Peacocky fears
I don't
Falcon
know.
and
Something
the
to think
Eagle.
about.
The honorable mentions were Trevor Lawrence, Brock Bowers, and Josh Allen, who all topped the 40-point mark at some point this season. Of course, the fans have a vote in this, so let's take a look at how the fan vote came in for each nominee. As you see, the fans went with Derrick Henry.
Wow. There you go.
Tight race.
Very tight race. I think you can certainly make an argument for, honestly, all of them, even Kyle Pitts, even though no one started him that week 15 when he went off. But why don't we, Peacocky, you want to bring out the who the winner is? So it's a combination of both the fan vote and, of course, then our esteemed panel, which is just, look,
Peacocky with the strut.
With a strut. Yeah. Hand it to somebody, Peacocky. All right, there we go. To Connor Rogers. Turn around. It's a TV show, Peacocky. Look at the camera. There we go. All right, not at us. There we go.
Wow.
Now we're talking. There we go.
Flatten them wings.
Thank you, Peacocky.
Now he's trying to
Peacocky or Brock Purdy?
trying to punch something.
Definitely a Doherty.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, we should put him in our TikTok videos that we do.
He's a dirty bird.
Yeah,
Fantasy Game of the Year, and the winner is Derrick Henry.
King Henry.
Flashing lights.
There we go.
The King takes
Henry.
on the Fantasy Game of the Year, guys.
Connor was most fantasy points by player in Week 17 since Mike Evans did it in 2022 when he had over 48 points. 6 players since 2000 to score 45 or more fantasy points in Week 17, and his 7th career game with 200 or more rushing yards. That's the most in NFL history. Some people on this table thought he should be benched for Keaton Mitchell. Luckily for fantasy managers,
John Harbaugh thought that.
John Harbaugh did. Cost him a job. Yeah. Jay Croucher's still employed. Not sure how that works out, but somehow Derrick Henry is the proud owner of a Peacocky Award. And the reason that I did not win my 16-team league, I faced him in the finals. Anyone that faced Derrick Henry or had Derrick Henry ended up winning or losing. Cost me a championship, but did allow me to crush Connor in the 7th place game.
I'll never forget that.
I never forget that.
I actually did.
Yeah.
But yes, that's right. That's right.
Very
congratulations.
Yeah. Shameful lack of respect for Jonathan Taylor's game against the Falcons. I thought apparently no one woke up for the 9:30 a.m. game in Berlin where he beat Lawrence's Falcons by himself. But yeah, Derrick Henry, I think, because of the timing, and also because it was there's someone unexpected because it was a Tyler Huntley offense. You weren't expecting Henry to be so efficient, but he dragged teams to championships.
You'd have thought Matt LaFleur said, you know what? Let's see if Tyler Huntley can beat us. Let's put 8 in the box and do what we can, Lawrence. But they did not.
Be interesting too, because clearly Derrick Henry still got it. Just turned 32 years old. So where does he fall next year when we talk about what is it? RB5, RB6, 7, 8. We know he's not going to get the receiving volume too.
I actually think it's going to be Keaton Mitchell's backfield next year. No.
Run the tech back.
He said one of these days.
I will just say this: wherever Derrick Henry ends up getting drafted next year, it will be wrong. He will, because I think he'll be. I actually don't think he'll go that high, Lawrence. I think he'll probably be in the running back 12 to 16 range. I think he'll be an RB2.
I would like him right there.
People will say, again, you'll have a new coach and just, older, doesn't get the passing work, blah, 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 blah. And he'll either way outperform that or completely fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
I just sort of feel like wherever he gets drafted, there's no chance that he finishes where he gets drafted.
It's extremes.
Yes.
I wonder if Derrick Henry has outperformed ADP every year of his career outside of the year that he got hurt where he broke his foot. I imagine he may have.
I don't think he has because he was drafted very high for a long time. You know what I mean? And I mean this year he was drafted as a top 10 running back, and I think the
Ravens years they're started because that's. Yeah. I mean, when you get let go from a team, it's gonna be some questions, and then he ran for almost 2,000 yards. So.
Yeah.
How about our next category, guys?
Yes,
Best value pick, and the nominees are Trevor Lawrence. ADP was quarterback 26. He finished as a top 5 fantasy quarterback. His teammate, Travis Etienne Jr., was drafted as RB 36. He finished in the top 15 running backs in points per game. Javonte Williams, ADP was RB 45. He finished as RB 11.
People just left him for dead.
Yep.
We did as well. Yeah. I didn't think anyone really was on the Javonte bandwagon.
I took him in League of Assholes.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
And it got me an 8th place finish. So really proud of that. Chris Olave, drafted as wide receiver 34, finished a very impressive top 10 season in points per game. How about Kyle Pitts? Again, 2-time nominee already, Kyle Pitts. He was drafted as the 21st tight end in fantasy football. He finished as tight end 4 in points per game.
Yeah, some of the honorable mentions here, you think about Drake May, who was on my team, my 7th place team, George Pickens, Zay Flowers. How about Dallas Goedert as well, who very quietly just, had a very strong year in a year where the Eagles' offense was fairly inconsistent. Dallas Goedert outperformed ADP.
Even in the playoff game, they just lost. They're giving him reverses. He scores the touchdown pass, 11 receiving touchdowns, leading the team that has A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. And
Saquon Barkley. It's interesting that a team that has Saquon, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith says, you know who needs the ball? Dallas Goedert. Yeah. Well, hard to believe.
I mean, he come up big. He tried,
Yeah, he did try.
A great operation there in Philly. Season on the line against cover 4, running 4 verts.
Feels like there'll be some changes to the coaching staff here, but a lot of great nominees. But why don't we?
Let's get the fan vote.
The fan vote, yes,
sir. Take a look at the fan vote, and then we'll get the official winner.
Kyle Pitts,
this is
no respect.
No respect for Kyle Pitts.
The fans are all over Javonte Williams. I think it's a good.
They feel burned by Kyle Pitts for so many years.
There is a lot of angst towards Kyle Pitts.
They hate him.
Do they not know what he did for my team in the league of assholes this year?
Well,
I don't think they care. But I get the argument for Javonte Williams. Again, running back 45, there were a lot of backups that were drafted ahead of him.
Indeed.
Right? There 44 different running backs were drafted ahead of Javonte Williams, and he finishes as an RB1, as a top 12 running back. So I get the fans voting for Javonte Williams. Let's see who actually wins the Peacocky, whether it's Javonte or somebody else. Come on in, Peacocky. Again, look at the camera. We're a TV show, for the love of God.
Oh, wow. Boil your way in here.
Boil your way in. There we go. There we go, Peacocky.
Is that Nakua?
Oh, my God. Did you just
lift weights?
puke? What's going on? I don't know what's happening. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Peacocky. All right. It's outrageous. All right, you shake your tail feather a little bit. There we go. All right, there you go.
Still disturbed by the injury.
Very disturbing. Yeah. For the next one, Peacocky, maybe learn the gritty or something. All right. And the best value pick, Peacocky, goes to Chris Olave. Wow. An upset. Yeah. A shucking upset.
Yeah, I disagree with the vote.
With the voters, I mean, look, this is a guy that was top 5 among wide receivers in targets and receptions, 12 or more fantasy points in 75% of the games. He had 20 or more fantasy points in all 3 playoff weeks. I think that's what put him over the top, Jay, is because not only was he an amazing value pick, but he was consistent throughout the fantasy playoffs. Like, the way you win fantasy often is by nailing some of these value picks late in your draft. And so Olave not only was a huge value throughout the year, but especially leading teams to the title.
Yep.
I think that would be the argument.
Yep, the first Tyler Shock merchant, and perhaps the first of many. Olave was awesome down the stretch. Hope he's okay after his injury that didn't allow him to play Week 18. I would have actually gone George Pickens here, because George Pickens ended up wide receiver 3 on the season. It was really only JSN and Puka Nakua. He was supposed to be a distant wide receiver 2 on his own team, and ended up being one of the best, the most valuable receivers in football. So he would have been my vote.
Yeah, well, anyway, so
Jay taking a dump on the committee cashes.
Exactly.
Minus 250.
Chris Olave, travesty. Not since Crash beat Brokeback Mountain, which I believe was the inspiration for whatever that intro was with you and Peacocky. But yeah, no, I disagree with the committee here.
Yeah, it is. We have it's Peacocky broke Mountain.
Yeah.
Broke Peacocky Mountain?
Boy.
I'll think about it.
Lawrence.
Congrats to Chris Olave.
Congrats, Chris Olave.
Chris Olave. By the way, I feel like, Jay, the reference should have been there. We haven't been this much of a travesty since Joe Flacco beat Damar Hamlin for Comeback Player of the Year.
That was second on my list. Third on my list was Shakespeare in Love over Saving Private Ryan. I got more. Okay. There'll be more travesties to come, I'm sure.
How about this category, guys? I like this one a lot. Best Waiver Wire Pickup. And the nominees are Matthew Stafford, 12% drafted. He finished as QB3. Kenneth Gainwell.
Yes, sir.
Gotta be him.
Was barely drafted. He finished as RB19.
Yeah, he did.
Robinson, 4% drafted. He finished as a top 15 wide receiver. How about Michael Wilson finishing as wide receiver 16?
To me, it's got to be Michael Wilson.
Because he wasn't drafted at all.
Wasn't drafted at all, and finished as a top.
I agree.
And you knew the weeks to start him. That was the other thing as well.
And he might have single-handedly got some teams into the playoffs with those nuclear performances. Harold Fannin, by the way, also a nominee at 4% drafted.
The modern day Terrell Pryor. Harold Fannin Jr.
New Terrell Pryor?
Yeah.
Honorable mentions.
He threw a pass, didn't he? I feel like he did.
I don't remember that.
Inventing passes now?
Yeah, I thought he did.
No, I think that what you're referring to, it might have been a receiver that did that. I don't remember it being Fanning.
Is it Jerry Jeudy? I don't know. Anyway, among the honorable mentions here, Jackson Dart, Jacoby Brissett, Michael Wilson's quarterback, Rico Dowdle. Surprised Rico Dowdle didn't make the official nominees. Your man, Alec Pierce, Jay,
one of the greats.
And, of course, Juwan Johnson, who should never have been on the waiver wire, should always be drafted. Juwan Johnson,
surprising.
the great Juwan Johnson here. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of great nominees here. I think Wilson would have been my choice here. You're saying Gainwell, Lawrence?
Yeah, I'm just looking at this list, and I'm just very disappointed I couldn't win the League of Assholes. Kenneth Gainwell, Wan'Dale Robinson, Michael Wilson.
What happened?
Just all great guys.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Instead of Shador.
Yeah.
See what happens when you go against your friends?
That's exactly right.
That is what happened. Well, let's
Look at the fan vote.
Let's look at the fan vote.
I would imagine Michael Wilson's a popular pick on the fan vote.
Yes, rightfully so.
We ain't mad at
The
it.
regulars know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, the runner-up in fan voting, and then a distant field of Gainwell,
No
Wan'Dale,
love for Wan'Dale Robinson.
and Fanning. Yeah, very underappreciated.
Very underappreciated. I thought Jackson Dart could have made this list as well, but all right, Peacocky.
He'll be on our next category.
Yeah. Let's bring out the Peacocky. Do we have a gritty?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we're not on camera. Hang on. Do it again. All right, there we go.
Oh boy.
That's
Peacocky's off the grid.
That's not
I'll take the envelope now, Peacocky.
just give it a J. It's for the love of God.
Very good. Thank you very much.
That was
Do the moonwalk the next time. Try that one. Next time.
Since Mike Gesicki tried it. All right. Go ahead.
Best waiver wire pickup. Oh no, it's another travesty. Matthew Stafford. Boo.
See,
Matthew Stafford.
you know,
boo. You can't boo. Can you imagine?
See, think about this. This is a quarterback. You want to give Matthew Stafford the real life MVP?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Right? But a waiver wire quarterback that we know is already good?
12% drafted. 12% drafted, and these numbers, by the way, are on single quarterback leagues, not double quarterback, not two quarterback leagues. 12% drafted and finishes as the third best quarterback in fantasy football. Led the NFL in touchdown passes, led the NFL in passing yards, led the NFL in terms of fantasy points, in terms of games with 20 or more fantasy points. No quarterback had more than him. He had 10 different games of 20 or more fantasy points. So it was not only huge points, but consistency there. Again, Lawrence, part of the 7th place. Live at noon on the Tube.
This is wrangled.
Not saying I skewed the vote, but
we had some talking going on. Matthew was trying to give me Stafford for James Cook, and I was like, hey, I respect that, but no, I'm going to ride with my 3 running backs and these below mid quarterbacks.
And where did it wind you up? Same as us, with no title. Yeah, exactly right.
I don't want to talk about it.
But anyway, Stafford. To be honest, I don't actually have a vote. Like it's done by
the committee.
It's done by a committee. The fan vote has and then the committee,
well, like
led by Condoleezza Rice.
Yeah, it's
the committee.
Mysterious cabal.
Former Browns head coaching candidate.
Former Browns head coaching candidate. Condoleezza Rice leads our voting committee here.
Isn't it like how the Golden Globes voted on by Dutch journalists or something? It's the same. It's the same.
Is that too?
Yeah.
Is that too? And much like the Golden Globes, you can also you can bribe them. Yeah, you can bribe them, and 100%. So which I guess Matthew Stafford, there's a huge cabal there as well.
Let's cleanse the palate of that bad award situation.
Matthew Stafford had an
Michael Wilson
unbelievable
was
year.
robbed.
Yeah,
he was robbed.
He was robbed.
What are you gonna do?
Rookie of the year.
Okay.
No surprise, the first name on this list is Jackson Dart. He was QB6 in points per game since he became the starter in Week 4.
Yeah.
Ashton Genty, not the season you hoped for, but he still finished as RB15. I think a lot of people would be surprised by that. TreVeyon Henderson got going late. T-Mac, Teteroa, McMillan, wide receiver 20. And then Harold Fannin Jr. again on this list because he was tight end 7 in points per game. A couple honorable mentions, R.J. Harvey, Quinshawn Judkins, Emeka Egbuka had the hot start, as did Tyler Warren.
Wow, Colston Loveland nowhere on this list.
Got going too late.
Just got going too late, I guess. I mean, look, I think there's a lot. This one, I thought Emeka Egbuka was going to run away with this award at the beginning of the season and just sort of seemed to fall off.
Yep. Yeah, Baker Mayfield's injury kind of coincided with Emeka
Same with
Egbuka's
Tyler Warren,
struggles.
also kind of trailed off a little bit.
Yeah, not his fault, I don't think, given the quarterback situation for my Colts, but it cannot be Ashton Genty. I'm sorry.
No.
If you underperform ADP, you cannot be the rookie.
It should be Dart.
It should be Dart.
It should be Dart. As you said, he was a top, ever since he became the starter, basically a top 6 fantasy quarterback. Right. So we all think it should be Dart. Who do the fans think it should be?
So we take a look at the fan vote here. Wow.
Teteroa McMillan. Well,
pretty good margin.
Because they're probably thinking like what I was talking about the last one. It's a quarterback, but I actually think in this situation, the quarterback, because like he was so good at running the ball, not just getting you yards. He got Jackson Dart, I'm talking about. He got you rushing touchdowns. Wasn't a lot of turnovers, especially when you compare him to the other rookie quarterbacks. And to finish as quarterback 6 as a rookie, and Teteroy McMillan deserving, but wasn't a guy you felt great about starting every single week.
That's the thing. I mean, Dart was QB6, Stafford was QB3, but you guys think Dart should get the award and Stafford shouldn't. But okay, let's see. It is. I like the fact that at least Genty only got 3% of the vote, because I feel like it can't be, and I feel like we had other nominees here that might have been better. But Peacocky, why don't you come out? Hand the envelope here, backing into moonwalking.
There's your moonwalking.
Oh, careful, Peacocky.
Oh my goodness.
We don't need an HR violation.
That's a nice moment.
I don't show PDA, man.
Wow, I'm jealous. Peacocky's trying to make me jealous. We had one night in Stanford, and now he's trying to make me jealous.
My bad, Peacocky. If you try with Jay, it might work. All right.
Definitely work with me.
The winner for Fantasy Rookie of the Year, as we all think it should be, Jackson Dart.
There we go. Jackson Dart.
The committee woke up from their slumber. Disgraceful group.
Condoleezza Rice ruling with an iron fist there as well. You mentioned the rushing touchdowns. Only Josh Allen had more, Lawrence, than this year. He led all quarterbacks in rushing yards per game and had at least 19 fantasy points in 75% of his starts, despite no Malik Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson in and out of the lineup, a coaching change midseason. I think the future is very bright for Jackson Dart, both for the Giants and in fantasy
that too.
football.
I wouldn't even think about the Malik Neighbors aspect of it. So
yeah, beloved IHOP spokesman Malik Neighbors.
That's right.
And friend of the show. We interviewed Malik.
We did have Malik Neighbors, who he talked about the quarterback situation, which is kind of ironic. It felt like he was hinting at a Stafford acquisition.
Yes.
But it all worked out. They got Jackson Dart, and the future's bright for that pairing.
They tried. I mean, they tried to get Stafford. They tried hard. It just, ended up, he wound up back in L.A.
I think it worked out for everyone.
But it did work out well.
Stafford
might be playing in the Super Bowl in a couple weeks.
Stafford might be playing in the Super Bowl in his last year, and then Jackson Dart, obviously.
He won the Peacocky for Rookie of the Year.
Would not have been throwing 46 TDs.
One quarterback dies, another lives.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just telling you.
All right, our next category is
Prescott's quarterback of the Rams next year. Mark my words. We'll see.
A classic. Breakout Player of the Year in fantasy football. Drake May, QB2 in points per game. He led all quarterbacks in yards per game when you count passing and rushing. Trevor Lawrence, 38 total touchdowns. That was third most amongst quarterbacks and led to his QB5 finish. Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver 2 in points per game on the season. George Pickens, who Jay gave a lot of love to earlier, career highs in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Wide receiver 5 in points per game. And how about Michael Wilson getting to the 1,000-yard mark? He had 1,100 receiving yards in his first 2 seasons combined, so massive year for him. A couple honorable mentions: Kyle Pitts, Harold Fant, and Wan'Dale Robinson.
All these guys broke out through the next level. Like, Drake may become a fantasy superstar. So did Trevor Lawrence over the second half of the year. To your point about Pickens, who everyone had sort of thought was kind of this streaky wide receiver 3, wide receiver 2-ish kind of guy, became a top 5 guy. Obviously, Michael Wilson, who was sitting on waiver wires and ignored for the longest time. But Jackson Smith-Njigba just became a hammer. Feels like he's the guy for me, in terms of breakout, like just such a massive breakout. I think it's either him or Drake May in terms of breakout.
Yeah, I think it's JSN. JSN was drafted in the 4th round, predominantly a slot receiver, becomes the best outside receiver in football, wide receiver 2 in points per game, and stayed healthy the entire season. And also just the fact that he could change his role so substantially and be basically 45% of the entire Seahawks passing game unto himself. I think it's JSN.
I mean, imagine you said to somebody in August, you know what, I'm going to draft JSN over Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, and they'd look at you and be like, wow, I don't think about that break, like that kind of jump. And
JSN was sort of in more like the kind of Jordan Addison type of, closer to that range than the Jamar Chase range, and now he's the best player on the team that's a Super Bowl favorite.
Right.
I would go JSN or actually Michael Wilson. To what you just said, Connor, imagine saying in August, man, I'm going to take Michael Wilson in the 9th round. People be like, what?
Right.
Or him over CeeDee Lamb. He had more total fantasy points than CeeDee Lamb this year.
And like a guy like Drake May, again, like I think we all talked about like he
was a
could
sleeper.
break out.
He was on the preseason love list.
We knew he had that rushing upside because he showed that last season. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, we was questioning the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
We was questioning, could Sam Darnold do it again? Well, damn it, they got a bye. So he did it again to some degree. So I would go Jackson Smith-Njigba too. My close second would be Michael Wilson here.
Let's take a look at the fan vote for Breakout Player of the Year. We'll see if Michael Wilson can take this one. And wow, Jackson Smith-Njigba, 60%. That's our biggest fan vote I think we've had yet. Trevor Lawrence with 1%. Drake May, the runner-up from the fan voting at 29%. Peacocky, make your way over here.
Yeah.
And
Trevor Lawrence only getting 1% a little,
Take that, Trevor.
I think the bar for a quarterback breakout is just different.
Look at Peacocky getting the crowd into it, firing up the crowd. Yeah, let's go. Woo-hoo! Oh, the fighting Peacockys.
Thank you, Peacocky. Breakout Player of the Year. That was close.
I mean, that was very close. Peacocky's going to knock over. I'm going to be soaked in Diet Coke.
And the Peacocky goes to, for Breakout Player of the Year, Jackson Smith.
There we go. Once again. Congratulations once again,
Jackson. Friend of the show,
Jigba, come on up.
Friend of the show, Jason.
That's the guest. Come on up here,
That's our special guest here in the third.
Yeah, Jason will
not preparing for his game against the Niners on this weekend. The other thing about JSN is I remember when they signed Cooper Kupp, and we were like, well, that makes no sense because, like, JSN is best in the slot, and now you've got Cooper Kupp, the slot guy, and so what do you? So they moved around. Think about all the things so you were like, not sure about the role with Cooper Kupp. They gave Cooper Kupp real money, so clearly the Seahawks thought that Cooper Kupp still had something left. Then you're like, new offense coordinator in Clint Kubiak. You're not sure what's going to happen there. Oh, by the way, Sam Darnold, was he a product of Kevin O'Connell's system, or could Sam Darnold get the ball and support JSN to this kind of level? And no one sort of thought, we liked him, as a sleeper, but no one thought he would be second only to Puka Nacua, that he would just be an absolute fantasy superstar and lead the NFL in receiving yards.
Yep.
All right, our next category, guys, is a tough one. It is the biggest bust of the fantasy football season, and the nominees are Lamar Jackson.
A lot of people thought Jay Croucher was going to make this.
Oh, wow.
Brutal.
Savage.
Yeah, I mean, the Keaton Mitchell over Derrick Henry take will follow you for a while.
People do talk about me in the same breath as Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley pretty frequently, to be fair.
Lamar Jackson drafted as the second quarterback. He finished as QB 15. Saquon Barkley drafted as the second running back. He finished as RB 14. Ashton Genty taken as RB 6. He finished as RB 15. I think these ones are way more brutal. Justin Jefferson, to no fault of his own, was drafted as wide receiver 2. He finished as wide receiver 28. Brian Thomas Jr. was a very, very common pick for breakout player. Instead, it went the other way. He was drafted as the 7th wide receiver. He didn't finish it within the top 40 wide receivers. Some other honorable mentions. Tough year for Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Worthy, and Baker Mayfield.
Xavier Worthy was like my 4th or 5th round pick in the League of Assholes. It's one of the reasons why I had to compete for a 7th round
it's a bad
title.
Pick.
Yeah, it was a bad pick. There's no question about that. I mean, Genty, given the hype, I feel like the last 3 that we mentioned, like Jackson and Barkley weren't as good as their ADP, but they were still usable in fantasy.
Yeah. Same with Genty.
Genty was. He finished his RB 15.
Saquon was good in the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah,
that's right. The last 2 is like
Jefferson. I think Brian Thomas. I would go Brian Thomas.
I don't think it's close.
I would, because Brian Thomas messed around and dropped to the wide receiver 3 on his team.
You were probably looking at the board and you're like, JSN, Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
One won you your league, the other lost you your league.
That's 100% fair. Why don't we see who the fans voted here? The fan vote for Bust of the Year. When we bring that up, and they all think it's
close one.
Close one.
Yeah.
Jefferson at 41%, Brian Thomas Jr. at 36%, Lamar at 12%, Barkley at 5%, Genty at 6%. Genty was a first-round pick, but he was just felt like he was so brutal and like that that 3-touchdown game that sort of I think elevates him on the point-game basis. Just week in, week out, he just wasn't great. So Jefferson is the pick of the fans. I think that's where I might go as well. You say Brian Thomas. Let's see who the actual Peacocky goes to here, if we can. So we'll get up the full screen. Here's the Peacocky coming up with a different move. He's just sort of trying to fly.
Wow.
He can't. Wow. He can't fly.
It's kind of.
Thank you, Peacocky. Good to see you. Don't hide your head in shame. There you go. All right. Go ahead. I don't know what's going on top of his head there, by the way. I don't want to look at that next time. All right, the Peacocky.
Fresh haircut.
Yeah, I guess so. Something like that.
Like Junior Soprano, like you did in Pittsburgh.
That's a little bit. All right, the Peacocky for Bust of the Year goes to Justin Jefferson, friend of the show. No fault of his own.
Not anymore, apparently.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, there goes that. Thanks.
I would argue this. It's
there goes
not
Radio Row.
I don't think it is Justin Jefferson's fault. I think it's the fault of the quarterback and the offense. We still think Justin Jefferson, talent-wise, is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. I think here's why the committee, led by Condoleezza Rice, voted Justin Jefferson Bust of the Year. Right? Only 2 touchdowns, right? That was a career low. He's one of only 2 players to see 140 or more targets and score fewer than 8 touchdowns, and he had 2, right? In J.J. McCarthy's 10 starts, he averaged 11 fantasy points. He had under 55 receiving yards. And here's why I think he's Bust of the Year, guys. Because I agree with you. Brian Thomas Jr. also brutal. But here's the thing. With Brian Thomas Jr., you quickly figured out, like, you know what? Not his year. Yeah. Like, they're going Parker Washington, then going Jacoby Myers, even Travis Hunter. But Justin Jefferson, you felt like you had to start every single week because he's Justin Jefferson.
Like,
I know he's been brutal.
Yeah.
I know he's been brutal for 3 weeks, but they're playing the Lions, and the Lions are banged up offense, and he's Justin Jefferson. Like, every week you felt like you had to start him, whereas you felt comfortable benching Brian Thomas and even Ashton Genty, depending on who you had on your team. So, to me, that's why Justin Jefferson is the Bust of the Year.
Okay.
Because he cost you a first-round pick, and he was always in your lineup, and he just always didn't produce the kind of numbers you needed.
Yep. A lot of justification of the committee's suspect decisions going over here.
Yeah, there's a trend here.
Yeah. I think you're a puppet. This committee.
The regime. You disagree with that take?
I vote Brian Thomas Jr. Pretty far and away.
Yep.
You drafted a guy to be your wide receiver 1, and you couldn't play him. You couldn't play him.
I will say this. I've said something about the previous awards about the quarterbacks and how it's easier for them to get that. Even, Lamar is in this category, and I would say if the quarterback were to get an award, it should probably be this. Because if you're a quarterback, especially one drafted 2nd overall, you finish top 15 in a one quarterback league, like that's killing your team right there. So I would say if a quarterback were to get an award in these Peacockies, it should probably be this one.
All right, guys, there would not be any way to recap our year without revisiting some of our movie takes for a surprise category. Check this out.
Tom Cruise has never won an Oscar either. He's merely nominated, like Connor. So Connor and Tom Cruise.
I think it's because he does crappy movies like Magnolia.
It's 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. You're acting like it's a bad movie.
The idea that it's your favorite movie is insane. That's the problem I have with it.
It's a ridiculous take. You don't get to choose my favorite movie.
I know I don't get to choose your.
I'm the only one who lived my life.
You've never seen Star Wars?
I've seen like one of them when I was a kid. Just as like nothing.
How are you a red-blooded American male and you've never seen Star Wars? The original trilogy. Yes, there's actually 9 of them, but whatever. I've never seen Godfather 2.
You're a screenwriter in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Godfather 2 is one of the objectively 10 greatest movies of all time.
I'm the asshole on this desk because I haven't seen 9 Star Wars movies.
Apologize.
There you go. So, worst movie take of the year nominees.
The nominees are Jay going with Magnolia as his favorite movie. Yep. Me not having seen the 9 Star Wars films.
No, just Star Wars. You haven't seen Star Wars: A New Hope, the first one.
That might be the best take.
Thank you, Lawrence.
And oh my God, Lawrence.
Thank God, Lawrence is back.
But go ahead.
Matthew Berry not seeing The Godfather Part 2. It's just still hard to fathom.
Yeah. You see Part 1?
I did.
How can you not see Part 2?
That's what I don't understand.
I felt like it was
just on like.
I didn't have any questions.
I even put myself through Part 3 just to
and
it was like, I tried it. And I'm good.
Yeah.
I felt like it was all wrapped up over the first one. I had no questions. I was like, I'm good.
All right, let's get the Peacocky.
Peacocky, why don't you come on out here?
Peacocky
doing the robot.
Oh, nice. Right. That's a fast robot. That's like a Euro trip robot.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go Peacocky.
Speaking of great movies.
Thank you very much, Peacocky.
No, you should, Lawrence, let Lawrence get it's all of our movie takes. Lawrence should read this.
Cobra Kiger, by the way, said, Connor and LJ, you guys want to start your own show? You're the third chair, Cobra Kiger.
Worst take, wow. is Connor never seen
wow.
Star Wars.
That's right. That's the correct answer. That's the correct answer.
In an upset.
Not upset. That's absolutely. Everyone has seen Star Wars. Everyone has seen Star Wars.
Two people on this desk haven't. Half the desk has not seen Star Wars.
Yeah, which is a travesty, which is awful. And the three, you two go ahead with Cobra Kai.
It's all relative to ADP. You not having seen Godfather Part 2 is the biggest disgrace by far of those 3 takes.
At cost, my take is fine.
Disagree. Yeah. Star Wars is a much more popular movie from look at box office, look at social trends.
Social trends? What does that even mean?
Disney Plus has an entire channel devoted just to Star Wars and that entire universe. No one has one for Godfather
Social
Part 2.
Trends.
Yes.
The broadest metric imaginable.
Go search like Star Wars on social media, and you'll see people still talking about it today. No one's talking about Godfather 2 today.
Yes, they are.
No,
it's like shown in every film class.
No, sure. And
who's talking about Star Wars?
Everyone.
This stupid desk.
Nerds everywhere.
It's a part of
Crappy
America.
desk.
Nerds everywhere are talking about, and I count myself as one of them. Yes.
Oh God! All right, we're taking our first break.
A lot of people have Andor season 2 as one of the best TV shows of this year,
Okay.
which is also part of the Star Wars universe.
More Peacockies on the way if you dare to stick around.
Congratulations on your Peacocky.
Finally won one.
Connor.
Yep.
There you go. See, finally got. I get the matchup with Seattle, but I just.
Oh, man.
Independence.
Oh no. That's a Diet Coke.
What ended up becoming Finding Dory ended up getting scratched. So they asked writers to come into Disney and pitch them ideas for a sequel to Finding Nemo. The idea was that that the sequel was that opening scene where there's all these eggs and they scatter, and they scatter. I say we look at that scene, we replay that scene, but from a different angle, and we notice that there is one egg that rolls all the way away and doesn't get destroyed, and that we see Nemo actually has a brother.
One eternity later.
That was the pitch, that Nemo and Marlin go on a hunt for his son and the sibling, and they eventually find him. The executive said to us, screw you. Screw you.
Of course, that comment was from Dev saying, this story makes me wish I was Nemo's mother.
Yeah.
Biggest show derailment.
Yeah, biggest show derailment.
a good
Nemo's mother
category.
passed away, by the way, in the very early scenes of that movie.
Yeah, that was the
movie
point.
Spoiler, yes,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Deb
yeah.
wishes he was dead.
Deb didn't like the plot.
Yeah, we can make that happen, Dev. All right, so biggest show derailment when I spilled my water in Philly, when I spilled my Diet Coke on the set, or when I pitched the Finding Nemo sequel.
I mean, come on.
It's Nemo.
I mean, it has to
It's
be.
not even close.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
It is tough, though. Man, it's tough. But I would actually say the reason it won't be the spillage of that Diet Coke is because Matthew Stafford going to end up getting the MVP anyway. But if he just would have fell completely off the rails, like that would have been on you.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So I'll go with the Nemo, too.
All right,
Okay.
all right,
Let's get the
Peacocky,
Peacocky.
who biggest show derailment? Yeah, there you go.
One
We got a little jazz
eternity
hands.
later.
Some jazz hands.
Okay,
there we
I'll
go.
grab this Peacocky.
Jay's got
Thank you,
this one.
Peacocky.
Jay's got this one. All right, there you go.
All right, let's see.
He has to
Biggest
watch
show-
where he turns because he's got a lot. He's got
Yes.
a
Yeah,
big
he
ring.
Great
hit
turning
me in
circle
the
on
face
Peacocky.
with a.
It's the Finding Nemo sequel.
Well done by the committee.
Yeah, well done. Committee gets it right.
Yep.
The Shadowy Cabal gets one right.
Yeah.
Broken clock right twice a day.
Even
Yeah.
I would be like, yeah. Watching that back, I'm like, I shouldn't have done
Man, that
that.
was long.
That was a
I
good.
know.
That was a good 4 minutes.
Was it?
When he came back, you could see Jay and I slowly starting to
Yeah.
slump into the chairs.
I know. You guys were like, we want to pay attention to be good co-hosts, but what the F is going on here?
Yeah, just kept on going.
Just
It did.
just a great day for me not to be there.
Yeah, it was smart.
Can't believe it didn't get picked up. That's really the most shocking part.
It's actually a good pitch. Screw you guys.
Look,
They
let's
should
not
have made it.
It was debatable.
Let's not revisit it.
Yeah, we didn't have any fish driving trucks down the highway like the actual sequel did. We stayed in the world of reality.
Anyways, the next category, fantasy MVP. Of course, this is more related to the regular season, and the nominees are Christian McCaffrey, RB1 in points per game, Bijan Robinson, RB2 in points per game. Jonathan Taylor was RB4, Puka Nacua with the wide receiver 1 finish, and Jackson Smith and Jigba as wide receiver 2. The honorable mentions, Trey McBride, Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon A. Chan, Josh Allen, and Drake May.
So for me, I think JSN is the obvious choice here because of where he went. Like, fantasy MVP is not only about who produced most fantasy points, but what it cost to acquire that person. The rest of these guys were all top 15 picks. Taylor was the top of the second. Puka kind of top of the second, but Jackson Smith-Njigba was like a third or fourth rounder as well. I could argue McBride. I could argue Drake May again because he wasn't drafted as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. And but to me, I feel like JSN's the answer here.
I would go JSN too for all those
Interesting.
reasons.
I was out on Christian McCaffrey this year. I know you guys were both in, and I would actually go with him. He was going around, I feel like, the 8th pick in the draft, and just been burned too many times before, wasn't comfortable with it, and he was phenomenal.
I planted a flag on this is the year he stays healthy. Like, he was on the preseason love list, and it said, if he's healthy, he's the number 1 player in fantasy football.
When you talk about value to your team, just like we talk about the real NFL MVP, Christian McCaffrey injuries happened, and he was still there carrying those fantasy teams. I mean, you got a running back with 100 receptions and falls a few yards short of 1,000 receiving yards to get 1,200 rushing yards on top of that with all those injuries that happened to the 49ers on both sides of the ball. But with Jackson Smith-Njigba, where he was drafted, I still would give the slight edge to CMC.
Let's take a look at the fan vote and see if they agree.
Much like the actual MVP vote, there's a lot of what's your definition of MVP?
Right.
Not very close, actually.
McCaffrey, 50%. Jonathan Taylor, only 4%, a member of Lawrence's team. Bijan Robinson at 13%. Puka at 19%. I'm surprised. So Puka at 19% at number 2. Wow. Jackson Smith-Njigba just 14%. He's got the third place vote there.
I think Puka being above Jackson Smith-Njigba has a lot to do with more of the recent. Like Jackson Smith-Njigba shot out a cannon from the beginning of the season, so I think that's what has to do.
Let's bring on the Peacocky, and Matthew, you will read off who the fantasy MVP.
He rowing.
I don't think that's rowing.
Skiing.
The electric slide.
Skiing.
That's the electric slide. You're skiing. What are you doing, Peacocky? Is it some sort of Olympic thing?
Peacocky's out.
You're trying to be like.
Promote Milan?
Exactly. Exactly. Peacocky should be doing, all the other sports that are available on
Swag
Peacock.
surf next time.
Should, do some basketball because we have NBA there. Figure out a way to do Atlantic 10 college basketball. You can, yeah. Or all right.
Just heave threes.
And the Peacocky for fantasy MVP goes to Chris McCaffrey, 50% of the vote, obviously from the fans, and the committee agrees. Again, he went towards the end of the first round in a lot of drafts, finishes as the #1 running back in fantasy football, and averaged 2 more fantasy points per game than any other player from weeks 1 through 17. 416 total fantasy points. That's the most by a running back since Chris McCaffrey had 471 in 2019. So 6 years after he did it, he comes back again with just a monster fantasy season. And there was consistency, at least 22 fantasy points in 12 of his 16 games through the first 17 weeks of the year.
Yep, did it in the playoffs as well, which JSN had a little bit of quieter playoffs.
Well, let's go to the fantasy playoff MVP. Of course, this qualifies as weeks 15 to 17. So the Traveler was QB1 at almost 33 points per game. Bijan Robinson was RB1 at 33.1 points per game. Derrick Henry over 26. Puka Nacua was wide receiver 1 at 30 points. And Chris Olave right near 28 points per game as wide receiver 2. The honorable mentions were Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and Kyle Pitts. Let's take a look at the fan vote for this one, guys. This is
a lot of people stepped up.
Yeah, pretty loaded field here. I have a feeling it'll skew towards Bijan Robinson because he's won a lot of championships, and it does, but it's close.
Yeah.
It's maybe the most even fan voting we've had.
In those 3 fantasy playoff weeks, he had the one game where he ran for almost 200 yards, so that definitely helped him get towards that 33 points per game. So, you know, I'm going to give Bijan one here, too. Let's bring one home for the home team. You're 8-9. You made no playoffs. You did make All-Pro, Bijan, but go on add some fantasy hardware.
Yeah, more distributed voting, 31% for Bijan, King Henry 22%, Puka at 28%, then Trevor Lawrence at 14%, and Chris Olave at 5%.
So, all right, Peacocky, we will take the envelope for fantasy playoff
You already
MVP.
did the
Whoa, that's...
Oh, he hit the fadeaway. He hit the fadeaway on him.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
not what the brown ball rock sounds like.
a little bit sounds like that.
And the fantasy playoff MVP goes to Bijan Robinson.
All right, bring it back to the ATL.
There we go. Accepting on his behalf is Lawrence Jackson, noted fan of the Atlanta Falcons.
Thank you, people. I did nothing to deserve that. Shout out to Bijan.
We had a little hiccup in Bijan's season early where he allegedly went by Bijan for a little bit, but we got that sorted. We decided he was Bijan, and he was magnificent down the end of the season. Almost set the all-time scrimmage yards record. Bijan, awesome.
It's amazing, too, with that offense.
Yeah. During the fantasy playoffs, 29 or more fantasy points in all 3 playoff weeks. He was the only non-quarterback to score at least 25 fantasy points in each round of the fantasy playoffs, at least 168 yards from scrimmage in all 3 of those games as well, and brought me home a Guillotine League championship, not ours, but in a different Guillotine League. Birthday Bijan. On my birthday, Bijan. Monday, December 29th. 1,000%.
Birthday Bijan.
Birthday Bijan.
It's not Bijan Robinson's birthday.
But on my birthday, I desperately needed to win a league where I was down big, and the guy I was playing had Puka in that game, and Bijan came through. Birthday Bijan in a big way.
Glad to hear it.
One of the best developments of this
break
year
down the rest of the roster
has been the investment from the regulars, obviously the watchers, viewers, listeners of the show. And there's no more important way to recap what they've done for our show and, of course, the regular of the year. As we show our regular power rankings for Week 14, great to welcome Daniel Day Kim to the rankings at number 4. Raise the Flags moves up to the number 1 spot, which was previously held by Jonathan Medici. Stupid Deb is just an honorable mention somehow. I voted for him to be number 1 after that comment. Valiant Vincent, welcome to the top spot, big dog. Jonathan Medici, you've been doing great, but you dropped 1 spot down.
Who will win regular of the year at the Peacockies?
Massive new category.
Massive new category. All right, let's see.
It's a big one.
This is a big one. Too many to choose from. We'll see what the committee did. Do we have nominees?
I think we are going directly to the
regular of the year.
Makes me wonder what happened to Clark Brady.
I think it killed him. I think it killed him.
I think Marathon actually killed him.
I think he's on. I think he's on the committee. Any guesses, guys, before we get into this?
I'm gonna go with Neck Brace Nation.
Yeah, sure. I
think it would be down to Medici and Aloha Bricks.
Yeah, I'll go Medici.
Medici or Aloha Bricks. And the regular of the year, the Peacocky, the prestigious Peacocky for regular of the year is Aloha Bricks.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Bricks.
Aloha Bricks.
Well earned. Dedication.
Who gets up at like 5 a.m. in the morning
Hawaii.
on Sundays in Hawaii, gets up early
Oh, it gotta be.
to watch it. So the dedication of Aloha Bricks, Medici amazing as well, but congratulations.
Yeah, I would say this should have been a Peyton Manning, Steve McNair co-MVP situation, Medici and Aloha Bricks, but Aloha Bricks very deserving winner.
Yeah, ultimate vibes guy in the chat.
Yep.
Every
Yes.
single day, we tip our cap to Aloha Bricks. You are the first regular of the year from the Peacockies. All right, we're taking
Congratulations.
one more break. When
But we
we're
love
back,
you, Medici.
We have one more Peacocky to hand out, plus a surprise guest in the studio that we don't know who it is, so stick around. Welcome back to the annual Peacockies, the fourth annual Peacockies. And at this time, we'd like to welcome up a surprise guest.
None of us know. Literally none of us in here know who this guest is.
The odds board ranges from Joe Flacco, Big Show, Medium
Big
Show.
Penn State Blake?
Penn State Blake, throwback.
Cam Akers.
So hot. It's Roto Pat.
So hot.
Wow.
That's a good surprise.
Oh my God.
That's a really
League
good
of
surprise.
Assholes champion right here.
So hot.
League of Assholes champion
Wow,
and our internal guillotine league champion.
This is good because me and Connor said, we ain't gonna care. We care. We care.
Wow.
We expected to be underwhelmed.
We're not. Could have been Denny. Could have been Denny.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought
Right
it was
off the
going to be.
news-
I thought it was Joe Flacco on there.
Right off the news of Nolan Arenado being traded, I believe.
Believe me, that perked me up.
This is great. Like we couldn't ask for a better time to have you
No,
on.
you could not. So listen, they wanted me to come and gloat about winning.
Which you should.
I call it the Barry double.
Yeah.
The Guillotine League, the League of Assholes. I'm just proud to win it. I was proud to compete. I will say, in the league bylaws, it said in lieu of a cash prize, I could accept a trip to an NBC award show.
There you go.
I didn't know we
Didn't
didn't
say which one.
No, I didn't
There's a lot
know.
of them.
I didn't know we didn't have the Globes anymore. All right. And so I'm on the Peacockies, but I'm honored to be here. I have never been hotter. Does Bud Light still sponsor their show? I could really use a beer.
Yes. Stick around for what's on tap.
Absolutely. Bud Light, it's easy to enjoy.
That's
easy
right.
Sunday.
Yeah, fridge full of beer.
Yeah, absolutely. But you have to drink it in the Peacocky outfit as well. Roto Pat, yes, congratulations. Unfortunately, you've won your way into the league next year. It was our goal was to relegate you, but unfortunately, we're not going to be able to. It was an unbelievable season for you. I think it's because you were able to focus on the league and didn't have to do this dumb show.
That would help me a lot.
Yeah.
No, listen, I have
8th place.
I'm about to have a 5th child, which some people might think, how do you have time to play fantasy? It's the opposite. Like, oh man, I need something to focus on other than my kids. So I'm in my
right out of the J playbook.
in the basement office, 14 hours a day, like scheming how to win.
6 more kids you can play Colts.
That's right, exactly.
You're the Philip Rivers of NBC. Roto Pat, very fertile. That's what we've learned today.
Fertile people.
He's potent.
Yeah, exactly.
Potent Pat.
His boys can
Pat
swim.
is what we call him.
Roto Pat's boys can swim. That's what we've learned today.
Brand new team name?
Yeah, there you go.
Boys can swim.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook.
Oh, the crown is yours!
The crown is Roto Pats.
The crown is Roto Pats.
We didn't forget about Back to the Futures on this Tuesday. How about a little Super Bowl MVP action as you look at the odds board with Matthew Stafford at the top there, Jay?
Yeah, which I understand, but I think that the misprice on this board, and my pick here, would be Jackson Smith
I like that a lot.
who we've spoken about a lot. I think it makes no sense whatsoever that he is 4 times Sam Darnold's price when Jackson Smith at Jigba gets 45% of Darnold's yards and 50% of his touchdowns. Seahawks are the Super Bowl favorite. I think JSN should be much shorter.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Stafford makes sense, but and if you think the Patriots make it to the Super Bowl, which I think they have a decent chance, Drake May at plus 700 is interesting to me.
I like a chance to get anything. Josh Allen plus 700 here. If they get to the Super Bowl, I felt like the Jaguars would be their biggest test.
Yep.
If they get there versus a team like the Seahawks, where we saw Matthew Stafford could make them vulnerable, so I would take Allen.
If someone can get my phone out of my pocket, I'm going to get on the app right now and bet Josh Allen.
We're just going to take us a while to figure out that thing.
I'll get in there. Don't you worry. I'll get that phone.
What a trip you won.
Keeps getting better.
Another Peacockies in the books.
Another Peacockies in the books. Roto Pat, once again, congratulations. That music means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. They're sweeping us off the stage. For Lawrence, Jackson, Jake Croucher, Connor Rogers, Pat Doherty, and the entire Peacocky staff, including Condoleezza Rice, I am Matthew Berry. We will see you back Thursday. Peace out.